Okay, sorry guys. I'm restarting the live stream. Um, my mic was being weird. I think. Hope I didn't fry the crap out of my phone. I didn't realize how hot it was up there. I'm gonna move spots up to the north end of town, and then I can hide in this shade up here. I don't really like coming up to the other side of town because of it's just real sketchy up here. Like there's all sorts of crackheads crap. But usually if you can hide pretty well, they won't miss. Right now I'm on Malone Street, about to pass Gene's Auto Service. So actually, if you look, this side of town used to be a train yard. This used to be the MKT Durant train yard, and it connected up here to this Ruston train plant, or not Ruston train plant, Ruston concrete plant. So the train yard went all the way up over by these buildings over here, and this was all train track at one point. It all got torn up after Union Pacific bought it, though, because Ruston started using trucks and started doing local stuff instead of national. And then right here, this is the shelling plant for the peanuts. Durant used to be a big agricultural hub for cotton, peanuts, soybeans, and oat, I believe. Now that's a feed store. It's called Hardy Farm. I actually applied to work there a while back. Okay, so now we're up at the north end of town. The signals are dead at the moment. I'm gonna pull up here. I'm gonna go in that building. It's either gonna be really cool in here or really, really, really freaking hot. There's no in between. Like, see up here, this is where you can get some good shots. Thing is, just crack that central up here. Let's see. I'm gonna walk. Oh man, I forget. It's midday. This building isn't very shaded right now. Oh Lord. It's like this is a. See, this is a good Railfan spot right here, or sometimes you can get down there. But I don't know. I'm not feeling it today. The signals are dead. Now, see, usually, sometimes around, like in the afternoon, you can stand right here, and it's like shaded, but right now it's just really hot. Huh. Now, see, this was an old MKT freight house. It's like you can see that right here, this was a loading bay, and then the other one was down there. And then, I don't know if you can see them, but there's old tracks right there. Like, see, they're really sticking out right there. This used to be Durant's whole railroad hub. That used to be the old Union Pacific, or no, that was MKT. All Union Pacific crap is on this side, so never mind. This is the Union Pacific over here. That's MKT right there. Because Union Pacific and MKT used to actually share lines, but now they don't, because MKT is gone. And here, because there's no trains, I'm actually going to show y'all where Durant's train stations used to be. So we're going to go for a drive. Okay, because the trains are running so far, few between, we're just going to go do a little bit of railroad history searching. Here, excuse me. Got to get the truck started again. Just hope and pray the phone don't overheat. Okay, so right here, this used to be the old Union Pacific freight house and yard office right there. Those are the old Union Pacific tracks that went to that building. I don't really know what that building used to be. I'm turning around. So yeah, this used to be the old Union Pacific freight house that burned down a while back. But that was from the time time when this was all Union Pacific and MKT shared trackage. So yeah, there's the old Union Pacific building. You can see there's the old Union Pacific tracks. Didn't the Choctaw, Oklahoma, and Gulf go through Durant? I don't know that, honestly. That's the first I've ever even heard of that railroad. Yeah, see, there's this is the old MKT freight house right there. It got burnt down a couple weeks ago by some homeless people. I was railfanning the day it happened. I didn't catch it on fire though, or I didn't burn it, but I also didn't catch it, while it was on fire. Okay, so Rock Island actually never came through Durant. I've had a lot of people say that it did. It didn't. It was the St. Louis and San Francisco. Like, see, that used to all be MKT train track right there. This all used to be a train yard. And then, see, this is all new. Since the railroad turned this into took up the tracks. This is the old MKT, freight house again. There's another one. And then right there, that building right there, that hollowed out brick building, I'm not going to drive over there because there's nowhere for me to park. That is the old Missouri Pacific train station, because the Missouri Pacific used to go north and south right there, then it merged with the Union Pacific a little bit farther north. Okay, and I'll pull up here into this parking lot and show y'all where the old Union Station used to be. Okay, so up here, this is where things get a little bit interesting. This is my, one of my favorite parts in town. I don't know if I'm going to stay over here for too terribly long, because you can't see any signals over here. But this is a good place to show what Durant used to look like. Lord have mercy. Okay, so back in the 70s, Durant hosted 4 different railroads, I think. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 railroads. So you had the Union Pacific and Missouri, Kansas, Texas Railroad. They shared this train track right here. And then that train track, which is now the Kiamichi, used to be the St. Louis and San Francisco. So right there where that white building is, that actually used to be, all the way up until a year ago, it was what was left of the Missouri, Kansas, Texas freight depot. So that was like a big red, long curved building that matched the shape of that interchange track. And they would load freight and stuff right there. And then right up here, where the, I don't know, I'm going to try to point it out. Right there, in between those 2 train tracks, there used to be a place you could turn and drive down in there. And then the Durant train station used to be right there. So it was a 2-story Missouri, Kansas, Texas style train station. And there's some pictures of it online. I'm going to be posting some more stuff on my, Instagram account. I may do a video sometime in the future. It's just really hard to find information. But yeah, it used to sit right there. There's still red brick everywhere from... I heard church bells. I thought it was crossing. See, right here, this part of it, these bricks, they were made in Coffeyville. They used to make bricks up there. And, hey look, there's a rail runner. I better get off railroad property. What's this fella doing? But yeah, that used to be the old Durant train station right there. That used to be the freight depot. And then there used to be a tower right there. So what you'd see at Tower 55, there used to be that right there. Got a rail runner. I don't know what the heck he's wanting. I may bring out my camera real quick, take some pictures of it. Yeah, this is the Red River Railfan mobile. My back right tire's going flat, but we're just going to ignore that out of convenience sake. Excuse me. I'm going to set y'all down for a second. That is true. Here, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to take pictures with one hand and live stream with the other. He's sitting at the he's sitting on the main line, and he stopped at the signal. Makes me think that the signal's turned on. There may be something pulling into the hole from the north, but yeah, he's just sitting up there. It's like actually right there, that is now a Union Pacific like crew change point. Like there's a air-conditioned building over there, but there used to be a tower there. It was a 3-story tower, and they actually let Railfans get in it. So I have a good friend here. He's an older gentleman. His name's Joe Vales, and he used to Railfan back in the 70s. You know, I think I'm going to move back down to my original spot, and then we're going to see if the signals are on, because he's sitting there like he's waiting on something. Here, hold up. About my hometown. I love this place. I wish they wouldn't have torn down our train station, but it'll be good. One day, I'm hoping that I can start up a non-profit and try to rebuild our train station and like make it a community center or a restaurant, and then maybe get a virtual Railfan camera in. That would be really cool. Yeah, what's he doing? Oh, he's getting out. Oh, he's checking the signal boxes. Okay. That makes more sense now. They've been doing a lot of maintenance away work up here, and they've been messing up some of the signals. He might have tripped the signal itself, because sometimes the rail runners, they'll do that. They'll short out the system. Because, especially around here, they don't have, like, the necessarily like, PTC style signals. A little bit more ancient. I mean, because it is PTC. Like, they use, like, the shorting system. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm talking about. I just know I'm like trying to remember what this guy said. His name is Joshua. He works for the Union Pacific at a ray yard. I'm trying to remember what he told me about all that crap. But yeah, they use an older signal system. It's not like super old, but you know, it's not modern. Oh, okay. So they're checking the diamonds right now. They've been doing a lot of work. Like they've replaced it 4 or 5 times this year. I just wanted a train to come through. Maybe he'll come down here and I can ask him. Oh yeah, okay, he just turned the signals on. I bet they're doing maintenance away work. I wonder where he drove up from. Yep, the Missouri Pacific, they ran through Durant all the way up to Ada, I think. Or not Ada, that's Union Pacific. I'm trying to think of where they ran. But if you follow like the old highway north, I'm trying to think of what highway that is. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my phone and take pictures and all that crap at the same time. You can actually see where their old track used to be. Like there's still some bridges and stuff. He's got the signals set on all red. I bet they're going to be working on that diamond today. See, we better they're just having general signal problems. He's getting back in his truck. Let's see where he goes. He's just rolling north. I bet he's going to go check those north signals. See, that's one thing I really do like about Durant, is that we have the double diamonds here. So that means that we have plenty of signals. Because I know there's some places, like Culvert down south, where you have no clue if a train's coming until it's coming. Because you don't have any signals or nothing. Actually, there is one signal. It's just like shy north of Culvert, but it's so hard to see during the day. Man, I got flies in here now. I don't stink that bad. Oh, he's getting out again. That's interesting. It's a shame that all the railroad stuff went to the leeway. Like Durant used to be a major railroad town. Because we had the St. Louis and San Francisco, and it ran east and west, and then they allowed Burlington Northern back when it was just Burlington Northern. I don't remember if it was either Burlington Northern or ATSF. I don't really remember. And they ran them through Durant on the SLSF line. He just turned the signals off. And then we had the northbound Mopac line, and then we had the Missouri, Kansas, Texas. We had the Union Pacific. We had it all back in the day. We had back in Durant's heyday, we had 3 or 4 train stations. Because we had Union Station, which was right in the middle, which is where, like, it's right up there where I just showed y'all. We had the Missouri Pacific train station over to the east. We had the St. Louis, San Francisco train station over to the west. And then we had the original Union Pacific station, which was up north. He's headed back north again. He turned off the signals. I wonder if he just did that so we could cross the diamonds. He's probably doing track work or track inspections because it's so hot. Because Durant, we've had some track issues the last couple years, like expanding and stuff. Oh, he's trying to cross Main Street. He is struggling. Those cars are not letting him over. I told my mama I'd be back home at 4. And for another 2 hours before I go home. What's up, LMR? How you doing? Yeah, that's pretty interesting, Boxcar. I love looking into railroad history. Sometimes it's even better than railfanning. Yeah, here, I'll zoom y'all out so you can actually see what the heck's going on around here. My phone's getting hot again. I'm doing good. This is a Q&A, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I think I forgot to put that in the title of this one. We had some camera issues earlier because my phone overheated, so don't be surprised if it happens again. My phone's real fidgety. It's got all sorts of problems. You know, I'm ready for it to be fall, so I can just come rail fanning and then not sweat my butt off. I would go sit outside, but I don't want my phone to overheat. And it's shaded in here. I brought lawn chairs. Been rail fanning for about an hour now. No trains other than the one I caught earlier. Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. See, I really enjoy, like, those boomtown railroads, like you said, just because they have such an interesting history. You know, they were only around for so long, but they did a lot while they were here. You know, seeing that rail runner coming up makes me think that there aren't going to be very many trains for a while. Because he just went on north. And the next place that he has a crossing to get off is in Armstrong, which is a good 10 miles north. So that makes me think there's nothing. Because since he went north, that if we see a southbound train, there might be some leftover rail runner on the front of it. Because there's nowhere he can get off in between here and Armstrong. Which kind of sucks. Because if you're ever trying to chase north out of Durant, just give up, get on the highway, go to Caddo. There's nothing. I mean, if you go into Armstrong, you can pace between Armstrong and Caddo for a good 20, no, not, I wouldn't say 20 miles, maybe 12, maybe 10 or 12 miles. I mean, I did that earlier today. I really like pacing. It's not too much fun when you're driving, though. Because then it feels like you're racing. You're not really rail fanning. I got flies everywhere around here. Hey, Amber. I don't know if the Kaimichi's probably not running today, at least through my neck of the woods. They don't run on Sundays. Or if they do run on Sundays, they only run to Cardinal. They don't run all the way to Medill. Oh, we got more crackheads leaving the neighborhood. Oh, that mercy. I might just lay down and take a nap. I mean, y'all live on a different stretch of the Kaimichi than I do, Amber. I don't know. Because y'all live farther down east. They run on different schedules than the ones up here do. Then again, there haven't been very many Kaimichi trains running anyways because of the strikes and the unemployment. I do too, man. I wish they would have at least kept one. I mean, they were so good, but they got rid of all of them. If you want to see, like, I don't know, you've probably seen that video already if you've been around for a minute, but I have an old Riding the Rails of History video over the Kaimichi Railroad, especially in Hugo. I suggest you go watch that. There's some good clips of their old passenger cars and stuff in that video. Nope, they got no units left. The last one got repainted like 3 years ago, I think. No, it was longer than that, because I remember that was back before I actually rail fanned. I started rail fanning in 2018, like officially rail fanning, like making YouTube videos and stuff. And I remember back in like 2017, I was at the Sonic on 1st Street with my grandma, and a train came by. It had a Burlington Northern leader, and then it had or not a Burlington Northern leader. It had a BNSF leader, and then behind it they had like the last Kaimichi paint scheme, the last red and orange paint scheme, and then 2 red locomotives. and they ran them out on the BNSF, and then they came back a little while later as Kiamichi, Genesee, and Wyoming schemed locomotives. So I can say I did at least see one in my lifetime. I just didn't get it on video, because that was when I was really starting to like look into the railroads around me and stuff. Because when I was a little kid, I didn't really rail fan. I just watched trains, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a big difference. And I didn't really study it. I didn't really, pay attention to it that much. Oh, how things have changed. Speaking of change, the other day I was talking to Joe, who's the other rail fan in Durant. He's quite a bit older than me. I say quite a bit. He's older than me by like at least 40 years. He may be in his 70s actually. He said, like, we were talking around back in the 70s when all the train stations and the MoPac and all that stuff was around. And he told me, he said, son, I want you to love what you have now. Don't long for what you'd lost, because in the future you're going to be wanting these days back. I'll tell you what, I agree with that. Because, no matter how much I may, moan about it now, how I want it to be old, sometime in the future I'm going to be hoping, man, I just want to go back to when they ran diesel locomotives, something like that. Or when the railroads actually existed. Like, just adore what you got now. Don't look too far in the future. Don't look too far behind. Because what you got now is the only real thing you have left. But I don't want to go on preacher mode on all again. Oh, no. My check engine light came on. Crap. Really? I'm just going to turn my truck off. I'm not dealing with that today. If the light's not on, it ain't worth worrying about, right? My mom's going to kill me. I need new tires. Now my check engine light's on. Whoops. It's not my fault. Crap. This truck made me broke. I got no money left. Oh, Lord. I think it's still there. I agree. If I had to go back in time to one railroad era, I would go back to like 1920. Like 1920 or 1950. Because the 20s, that was back in the steam boom, but the 1950s was the transition era. If I had one railroad era to never go back to, it'd be the 70s. Or not the 70s. Either, yeah, was it the 70s when Conrail was a thing? And they were like taking over everything? That the merger era? No. If I had to go back to one era of railroading, that would be the very last on my list. Yeah, see, the transition era, that was a good era because the railroads were booming. That was after World War II. That was before Korea, um, or Vietnam, whichever one came first. Um, I don't know. I need to work on my history. I think Korea came first. But what in the world was that? I think I just heard some sort of rail noise. There might be another rail runner coming up behind me. Um, but the Conrail era, the merger era, that was a bad era. Like if I had one era to completely remove from American railroading history, it'd be that one. Back when every railroad wanted to eat the other one. I mean, it's still kind of the same way now, but there's not as much competition, not as many things to eat. That's true, because back during the merger era, that was it was an interesting time, like railroad on the railroads politically, because most of them were like running out of money and stuff. It's still an interesting era, like if, for rail fanning, because of all the different locomotives and paint schemes and stuff. Um, and that was just like an era of big change, and I'm not really a fan of change. To, I wouldn't really complain about this era just because like the railroads, even though they have like sucky leadership, you still have to think. I mean, there's still good things going on. We still have steam locomotives on the main line. I mean, you have to think Union Pacific um, mainline steam. That's a big thing. That's one thing that has never been really seen before, especially with like 3085 or 3985 and 5511. But honestly, I don't really care for like the I like y'all are gonna hate me, but I don't really care for like the New York Central or Penn Central or Pennsylvania railroads in those eras. The only thing I care about from those railroads were the New York Central Dreyfus Hudsons, the S1s from the Pennsy, and then everything from Penn Central can just go away. Like Penn Central, I didn't really care for that railroad that much, and just the ugly blue paint scheme. Like I know y'all are gonna hate me about that, but I've always been a Western like rail fan. I really like the ATSF, the Southern Pacific, the um, Northern Pacific, all those railroads. Oh, look at this piece of work we got over here. That was weird. Oh, did my view count just drop because I just dissed the crap out of Penn Central? I went from having 7 people on the stream to 3. Come on, you'll have to agree with me though. Penn Central wasn't that big of a thing. Yeah, okay, so New York Central Steam was good. It's like the Dreyfus Hudson and the Commodore Vanderbilt, those were good. Everything else I really did not like. The Red Silver, I almost have to disagree with you on that one. So the Kodachrome Santa Fe, holy crap, the Kodachrome Santa Fe, that was amazing. Um, so okay, of course, when you're talking like war bonnet, like F units, I do say red silver is the best, but the blue bonnets, man. I mean, come on. Like if we're talking like our favorite schemes, I have to say that my favorite schemes go like number one favorite scheme is the Southern Pacific Black Widow. Holy crap, I love the Black Widow scheme with that silver and orange and the black. That best paint scheme that's ever graced the rails. Second behind that, I'm gonna have to say the ATSF Kodachromes. Then behind that, ooh, that one's a rough one because I don't really like a whole lot of other railroad paint schemes. The Bloody Noses were good, but I prefer the Black Widows honestly. I'll have to say the B&O scheme is my third favorite. Either B&O or the Chessie. Like if you're talking Chessie, I'm talking Chessie system, not C&O. Chesapeake and Ohio. Because Chesapeake and Ohio, back when they had like the blue gray like dual tone, and that was about the same time that B&O had their dual tone. I have to say B&O had a better dual tone than Chessie. Or not Chessie, than Chesapeake and Ohio. Yeah, Black Widow. That like nothing can be beat when it comes to the Black Widow. But like if you're talking modern day paint schemes, like modern stuff, I just say it all sucks. I'd say the best modern paint scheme we have right now is the crap. They're all terrible. Um, the KCS scheme. It's real eye appealing, but like if you're talking major railroads, like you're talking Norfolk Southern, CSX, Union Pacific, BNSF, and KCS, and then of course you have CPCN. I mean, they all just kind of suck. Especially Union Pacific's new paint scheme. I'm telling you, I hate that. Like they tried to mix the um, flagless and the flagged locomotives. It's bad. Like that front Union Pacific shield is way too big, and then I don't know why, but that PNG flag that they have up on the cab, it just does not look good when it's that small. And then some of the lettering on some of those new locomotives looks awful. Have a good day, Stormy Sky. Thanks for being on the chat. But yeah, like when you're talking about the new schemes, they're all terrible. Like, okay, I forget about Alaska Railroad. Alaska Railroad is prime. But if you're talking Ferromex, it has to be the zebra paint scheme every day of the week. Zebra paint scheme or nothing. I mean, because like I like the green one, but their zebra paint scheme is amazing. The thing is, I don't know, is that like a special paint scheme that they did for a couple locomotives, or is that going to be their new one? Because I've seen some real fresh, um, like regular Ferromex paint schemes. Because I've never seen a zebra paint scheme in real life, but looking at them online, I'm like, holy crap. If it's their new one, I'm excited for those. But really, the only ones I've seen it on are like their new SD70 AHs, or are they AHs or are they T4s? I don't remember. They may be SD70 AH T4s. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't really look into Ferromex that much. Like just because they don't come through here very often. If anything special comes through, it's either Norfolk Southern or rarely CSX. That's about it through here. Sometimes we get some KCS. I mean, like the other day, if you watch the video that streamed or premiered yesterday, there were like three KCS locomotives in that video, I believe, and then there were two Canadian National locomotives. Those are pretty rare. You don't see that in Durant very often. Like the most we ever get is Norfolk Southern. Yeah, okay. So I really want to go out for like a whole day and railfan the Red Rock. The thing is, every single time I've done that, I like catch very few trains. So me and Southern Kansas Railfan, you probably saw that video. It came out a while back. We went railfanning and in Ardmore, and we didn't really catch that much. Because I know on the Red, they have a lot of trains a day, but we barely caught anything. We caught 5, I think, if you don't include the Heartland Flyer. Like, we're just talking regular freight. And I was really hoping to see more intermodal, but I caught one intermodal train. Like, we don't get intermodal through here unless that like another route is out, especially the Midlothian, or however you say it, Midlothian subdivision on Union Pacific. If that one goes under, then we get all their freight up on the Choctaw. But that's pretty rare. But like, our train lines up here aren't built for intermodal. I mean, they're too tall in some places. Like, I know one time I did catch an intermodal coming through here, and see those power lines? Like, they were close to catching that power line. I was stressing the whole time. That is true. I always forget that OMRA is on the Red Rock. Usually, if I'm railfan in the Red Rock, I go to either Lone Star Railfan, Oklahoma Railfan, or I've never really thought of going to OMRA. Well, see, you would think me being in between, so like the Choctaw subdivision runs up to Kansas City, and then the Red Rock runs up to Oklahoma City, both from Dallas. It's like you would think there would be more trains, but like heck, there's nothing to nil out here. Uh-oh, my stream's being weird again. Does the stream look okay to y'all? Because it's frozen on my end. I may have to restart it again. Okay, I may have to restart the stream again. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart the stream again. Y'all can go join. Sorry, my phone's being stupid again.